Welcome to episode 10 of Affair Root Cause and Fix. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so and ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. And start with episode 1 so you can hear the entire story. But if you found this, you may be victim of an affair, you're curious about it or whatever, and I encourage everyone to seek professional help. If so, because it's a serious thing. With that being said, within this episode, I want to relay what I found to be the fix for the affair that I was victimized by. So there's really every affair is different, and this fix is what I came to after assembling all of the evidence and digesting it and figuring out, ultimately I left the decision in the hands of my wife whether she wanted to be married or not, because she's the one that had the affair. So if she didn't want to be married, obviously I was going to divorce right then, because there was no point. But she was adamant about staying married, so I had to figure out, after assembling all of the hard evidence, I had to figure out if it was even an option that I would consider. So the fix was basically putting all the evidence together and just, doing a recap. Here's what I've discovered, what's missing. If I find anything else, that's it. It's over with, because if you don't come completely clean with me now, that's it. I've already given you two passes, because originally she never told me about the second person that was trying to get her to come back to his hotel room, which I'm somewhat convinced that never happened. But why didn't she at least tell me that before I discovered it? Maybe she doubted my abilities as an investigator to be able to find that. And of course, I feel confident that I dug everything out that could have been dug out. Now, obviously that's going with the assumption that anything would have been logged on the smartphone, because if it was things that had occurred with no smartphone communications, whether it be voice and or data, there's potentially things out there that have happened in the past that I'm not aware of. And again, my confidence level is only about a 6 out of 10. So, I'm not 100% confident that I found everything. Again, statistically, it seems to be highly improbable that I would have been able to discover anything just out of chance. But then again, my wife's behavior was out of character, and being married for so long, I was able to spot that immediately. And that's something, type of behavior I've never seen her exhibit in the past. So if she has done anything in the past, her actions didn't suggest that anything was out of the ordinary. And I don't think she's that good of an actor and that good of a liar. The fix for this ultimately was, obviously if I'm going to consider staying married, you're not going to go to that trade show in a few months from now. So she had to make the decision. She had to find a way to conveniently get out of a trade show, and I'm sure that was an awkward situation. But it pales in comparison to how awkward being victim of an affair was. So she made that choice. She was able to get out of that, and hopefully all of that fizzled out. The other thing was, the colleague that she went to the trade show where she had the affair there, I said, I don't want there to be any correspondence between you and that whorish individual. And that seemed to subside as well. So that's, as far as fix is concerned, that's fixing possible future occurrences of it, assuming that assuming that my analysis of the situation was correct and that everything was prompted by that individual. And again, that's an assumption. And again, my confidence level is not 100%. I'm only about a 6 out of 10. So what if there were other people similar in personality to that girl that existed during previous trade shows? What if there were bad influences present there as well, and things happened and I didn't notice it, and I wasn't able to find evidence of it? I mean, that's always a possibility. But I think that this individual was a certain special kind of evil, and I think that's the first. I hope that's the first personality type like that my wife's encountered, because I think my wife is very easily influenced, and I think that that strong and whorish personality that her colleague had, combined with unlimited free booze until the wee hours of the morning, I think that all compounded and made this affair occur. And again, just to reiterate, I'm not 100% confident that I've gotten everything. I'm only about a 6 out of 10. But fixing this, the fix obviously, at least for this situation, has been to number one, make sure that my wife chooses what she wants to do. Since she was the one involved with the affair, does she want to stay married or not? She chose to stay married. I wasn't going to encourage that decision. That was going to be her decision to make solely on her own. So she made that decision. So again, I went back and reviewed all the evidence. I've come to a fairly confident conclusion that I may have caught everything. I'm only about a 6 out of 10 confidence level rather. So that's not that good. 6 out of 10 is not that good. Will I ever trust my wife again? No, because I remember someone when I was young, and they stole a baseball card from me. To this day, I will never forget that person's name, and I will never forget what they did. And that's insignificant. It's a little baseball card with insignificant dollar value, but it's the principle, that unethical act. And in this situation, it wasn't it was not only unethical, but it was also immoral. So to be able to forget and trust again, I know for me it's impossible. For you, it may not be. You may be able to better overcome immoral and or unethical acts. And you may not be able to overcome it on your own, but if you have the assistance of a professional counselor, they may be able to help you do that. They weren't able to do that for me. And I mean, I went to multiple counselors. I spent thousands of dollars, and I'm unable to forget or trust again. So it's actually opened up an entirely new view of the world as well. Because anytime that I go to a restaurant or any place where there's a lot of random people, especially couples, the first thing I notice is who's sitting with who, and I can, in my mind now, I can easily stereotype couples that are probably having an affair. It's something I've got heightened situational awareness now. Now, likewise, whenever my wife goes to do anything, whether it's with friends or maybe just a routine errand, I've got heightened situational awareness. I'm always thinking that something may be going on. I'm not paranoid, but I'm aware now. Whereas in the past, there was nothing but 100% trust. So I never had those thoughts. I never had any reason to have those thoughts. But since this has happened, now I don't trust her at all. And I don't think I ever will again. And, without the trust, there's definitely not love. So the fix for this, I mean, it's a matter of it's really someone's personal preference. Do they want to try to overcome and mend those feelings, or do they just want a divorce? I mean, divorce is an end. Trying to mend is at least an opportunity. So, yeah, it's a matter of one's personality and one's level of patience and tolerance. Because someone that's not tolerant and someone that's not patient, divorce is probably the only fix. But someone that is tolerant and or patient, they may be able to mend the marriage. Will it ever be a strong marriage again? Probably not. Can someone convince themselves that it is? Possibly so. But anybody that convinces themselves of anything, in the back of their mind, they probably always know that it's not real. And that's the thing. I mean, even though there's a fix, and this fix I assembled as the product of exhaustive investigations. I mean, I dove deeply into all of this, assembled all the data, and based my opinions upon data. But even after doing that, the bottom line is that that my wife had an affair, and that was a decision she made, and people that she was in the presence, the people that influenced her decisions, she still made the decision. Alcohol that may have made the decision easier, she still made the decision. Alcohol and colleagues are no excuse for becoming involved with an affair. So, with that being said, the fix is up to the individual. But as I mentioned previously, seek professional help immediately. See what the advice that professionals may be able to provide. But I can tell you the fix for me is just, I mean, it is what it is. It's just getting through everything, getting, what seems to be, again, on my scale, about a 6 out of 10 confidence level that I've effectively pieced everything together and I haven't missed anything. But I still left that margin for error in there because it's statistically unlikely that I've spotted everything. And one thing I'm personally confident about is that if anything else comes out of the cracks, if I find that there was any other affair or anything, that's it. I mean, it's non-negotiable. It's time for divorce. And I hope I don't find that. But, again, there's no trust. And without trust, anything's possible now, and anything could have been possible in the past when I had trust, because I didn't realize in the past that I shouldn't have had trust. So, tell me what you think. Comment below. Like this video. Share with others. Subscribe. Ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. I'm going to try to post a lot of content here. Hope you find it to be, to be uplifting. Again, it's not a substitute for professional counseling. If you're a victim of an affair, you definitely should seek professional counseling. But I'm sharing this just to share. And again, check out my book as well, Affair: Root Cause and Fix. You can find it on Amazon, or you can just expand this video's description and then click the link there, and it'll take you to my book on Amazon. Thanks for watching.